I have something for you. Hey, so I thought you might like this. I hope you do. Yes, of course it's for you. Anyway, I figured you might have a use for it. I bet you do. And if not, well, you can always try to sell it. If I see anything on our next expedition to a planet, then I'll hang on to it for you.
The majority of citizens here in New Atlantis count on Reliant Medical. I believe our reputation speaks for itself. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. Well, you've certainly come to the right place. May you remain in good health.
Really? Ugh. What's there to even do on Gagarin?
Beats me, but the financials make sense.
Well then,
been getting these rashes under my eyes. I think it's chafing from the pilot seat. Might want to get that.
Need some work done? You should inspect your ship for heat leeches every couple landings. They'll cause plenty of havoc if left unchecked. You the courier? I've been expecting you. Star Parcel has your payment right here. Anything else you need? Just check out the Trade Authority kiosk next to my booth. Otherwise, there's Jemison Mercantile further in. Sure, have at it.
Yeah? Hey. I'm glad you're back. Let's get moving.
Sarah! Sarah, good to see you again, my dear friend. I expect to hear some exciting tales when you two return.
I'll try, but I doubt any of them will compare to the spectacular tales that we hear you spin.
You've got my attention, Captain.
space station is easily over 100 years old. Original Nova Galactic construction is my guess. Built to stand the test of time.
Nova Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. I admit, this is not the most disciplined team I've ever run. Malcolm keeps stealing computational time on Voltaire and thinks I don't know this. And Sabina's been distracted lately, but won't tell anyone why. I really should demand answers from both of them. But honestly, I'm too preoccupied with this contract. We all are. Despite anything going on in our personal lives, there's something special about what we're building here.
Look at the state of this facility. I wonder why this place was abandoned in such haste.
You ever get jealous? You know, the crew in the shipyard? Building the actual vessels that are gonna travel the stars?
We're literally on a base on the moon.
Oh, come on, Sabina. I'm trying to share my dreams here.
Well, your dreams are always out there and never here where the rest of us live. Can't you just be happy doing your job?
Where's the fun in that?
You're carrying too many odds and ends. Time to let something go.
Okay, confession time. Being single on a moon base is the worst. I only get like an hour to use the communication link to Earth every couple of days. And let me tell you, there's long distance dating, and then there's like long distance dating, you know? Oh, hey there, I'm a scientist, deadly employed, willing to take you out for coffee in like 6 months when I'm back from space. It's not a great opening line.
You seriously can't get a date? You're an astronaut.
Hey, no one asked you.
Galactic Project Log, Principal Engineer Lang Shu. Voltaire is being reconfigured for this new initiative. The math we're being asked to crunch is ambitious, even for a supercomputer. We might as well be asking it to count every grain of sand in every desert on Earth. Who came up with these original equations? Our partner isn't being very open about it. Every question I have goes through some discretionary channel. I'm surprised we even know we're working on a ship.
Voltaire really is something else. A supercomputer so powerful they put it on the damn moon to keep it cool. Although by that logic they should be running it purely in the vacuum of space. But hey, good marketing material. I've been spending some off hours running some dumb simulations, just because I can. My favorite so far is simulating the sound of every duck on Earth quacking after receiving a piece of bread. You didn't know you wanted a real-time sim of feeding all the ducks, but now you have it. You're welcome, humanity.
Forgive me for pulling you aside again, but, well, there's so much to process right now. The emissary, the hunter, the unity, an entire multiverse. I can't even begin to wrap my head around it all. That's an understatement. The fact that we are the origin of the Starborn. Humans literally reborn by entering the Unity. The same, yet different. It's unbelievable. I feel like most of the knowledge we've amassed in the last few centuries about the universe has just been made obsolete. Yes, that's exactly right. Humans are clearly a victim of their own success. We've been pushing further and further outwards from our home, when we should have spent more time being prepared for the consequences. Our current problem relates closely to the nature of humans as a species. This rushed curiosity has led us to enter the Unity and become Starborn. It certainly is. Without curiosity, our motivation to explore would vanish. But in this case, there's a difference between exploring the cosmos and blindly entering the unknown without being prepared for the consequences. But it has made a difference. Here we are, caught in the middle of some sort of needlessly violent crusade between the hunter and the emissary. You'd think that a technologically advanced society would have evolved past petty squabbling over something like the artifacts. It almost makes me wonder if entering the Unity has done them more harm than good. Yes, I agree, but not at the expense of erasing our own existence. When you pass into whatever lies beyond, we don't know what will become of you. Will you remember your life as you knew it? Will the hunger to collect the artifacts consume your life like it's clearly consumed the Starborn? This goes well beyond the boundaries of simple exploration. As the chair of Constellation, I want all of us to have this opportunity to explore the Unity. It would be the pinnacle exploration of our lives. However, after we enter the Unity, we'll likely evolve. You and I, as we stand here right now, will essentially cease to exist. You're a respected colleague, and I wouldn't want to lose you. I know. Damn it. I know. Listen. I realize nothing that I say is ever going to change your mind or diminish the enticement of this incredible opportunity. All I ask is that you research the facts before you blindly stumble off into the unknown. Yes, never mind the surprisingly high number of space battles you've gotten entangled with recently. Well, I suppose I've ruined the moment again, haven't I? I'm getting quite good at that lately. I'll let you get back to whatever you were doing. Just think what we discussed. I know I will.
All that junk you're hauling is seriously slowing you down.
When I accepted the assignment up here, we were told to bring a couple of personal items. Some psychological studies said it helped when you're away from Earth this long. I brought my grandmother's old abacus. I would play with it on her lap, and she'd teach me the Russian for all the numbers. She, just got word that she passed. The next shuttle isn't for 3 months, so I won't be able to go to the funeral. Goodbye, babushka. Thank you for teaching me math. It brought me to the moon.
Engine spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns
It's
this morning before
amazing
the
to
launch.
think that we're
All
standing
signs
on the
green.
same
Any changes to
planetary
the
body where
calculation sequence from
humankind
Volterra?
first
No
ventured into
changes since we
space.
uploaded the last figures yesterday.
We've
It's a
come a
clean shot
long
from
way
here to
since
Jupiter.
then.
One day the computer will be on board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years, Nova.
I picked up something you might be interested in. When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course. Thanks for taking the time to talk. I wanted to ask you about the artifact you found on Vectera. When you pulled it from the rock, held it in your hands for the first time, how did you feel? No, I don't think you understand. I know about the visions, the light, and the music. How did you feel inside? What were your thoughts? Damn. I suppose your mind couldn't handle the sensory input. Don't be disappointed. The artifacts are clearly beyond our current understanding. If there is, the artifacts are doing a heck of a job hiding it. The artifacts are so different, so alien, and I'm certain one of them reached out and spoke to you. Quite the mystery. Is there? Well, after spending years gathering data about the artifacts, you'd think I'd have all the answers. Does that really surprise you? A universal mystery left unsolved for God knows how long? Oh, I've been dreaming about solving this puzzle from the beginning. I knew I picked the right person for the job. Look, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to talk, and for keeping an open mind. And I also wanted to say, well, I'm pleased we're on this journey together. It's the best decision I've made in quite a long time. Unless I'm mistaken, that's one of the launch towers used during the evacuation of the Earth. I can't even imagine the chaos. The most likely way into the NASA facility would be via an elevator shaft taking us straight down. Hopefully the system is still in operation. Why are you bothering to carry all that junk? I hope the occupants of this colony ship found alternate transportation to evacuate the Earth before it was too late. God's sake. Drop some of that rubbish already. It's clear the gantry was in loading position. I wonder what prevented this particular colony ship from lifting off. The lift system seems to be completely offline. We should search for a way to restore the power and get it back into operation. This looks like it was some type of crew preparation area. Probably the last step before boarding. It's definitely seen better days.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars? Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man and was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in materials science, metallurgical engineering. We have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab. about Judith Satien. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was just to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
Look at all this structural damage. We need to be careful around here. Oh my goodness. Some of the artifacts here are from the earliest years of NASA. Oh, what a shame all of this was left behind to deteriorate. Is it really necessary for you to drag around all that gear?
I just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects. No motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
They were clearly testing space habitat viability in this area. It seems as if they knew the inevitable was on the horizon. Not much left of this geology laboratory. Ironically, the surrounding rock appears to have sealed the fate of this part of the facility. another point for our side.
I am taking damage. Damage registered. Engaging chaos. I'll target.
I'm going to end you!
Catastrophic damage.
Well, look at that. It appears we've found one of Vasco's long-lost relatives. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to find out. Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest. This is quite an impressive facility. The logistics it must have taken to build it this deep underground. It's astonishing.
project log. Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore, but further work is going to have to take place in space, somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner, someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us, it's all going to be possible.
Project log, Dr. Judith Tatien. I watched the gravjite tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing androids of drives, expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond. It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years, decades, before we know what all the side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountains.
There's a huge difference between being prepared. If there's a way to access the deeper sections of this storage area, I'm certain we'll find it.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter. You want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time, I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself. He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
arrived on the surface of Earth. We need to discuss what you found. And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
Is this persistence or foolishness?
Enough!
The test continues. We found nothing. I will return you to the stars. You have strained my patience.
You picked the wrong day to piss me off!
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel. At the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That is why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself.
Don't be a fool. The emissary and I may have our differences, but you do not want to give us a common enemy.
For once, he is right. Don't do this. We can collect the final pieces together.
Well, look at that. The emissary just became my new best friend.
You've made your choice. When you're ready, the hunter and I will be at the buried temple. That's where we'll settle things.
Meaning, we'll kill you. But hey, at least we'll wait. The final round doesn't start until there's only one artifact left to gather. And if I'm not mistaken, Constellation has one or two to go.
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find some more?
you when you have a moment.
While we scan your ship? All right, you're good. Welcome to Aquila City.
Star Collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband. And that's it. Enjoy that Aquila City.
I hope our suit seals hold. Otherwise, we won't last long in this environment.
Show me what you've got.
Watch my back! Over here! Take him down!
I can't take much more of this. I'm gonna go down. Nothing! Nothing!
I'm taking you down.
This is gonna end badly for you.
No payday's worth this. Let's go. You want to try that on? Got some more of this.
You have anything valuable? Bring it on! Oh, I'm hit!
a damn joke.
Opening fire! You're done!
Damn it. I'm going to end you.
Well, I suppose they're not going to need it anymore.
Okay, that's it. Time to sell some of your junk.
Let's strip this place of supplies. Depriving Ecliptic of anything useful is a step in the right direction.
Bring it on!
When I was living on Mars, I'd spend the weekends exploring caves just like this one. longer. This reminds me of a book I read as a child. It was about an expedition to the center of the Earth. One of my favorites. I wonder if Ecliptic has any sort of organized hierarchy, or are they...
Now, what exactly does a pharmaceutical company need with a sub-basement and a connection to a cave? Something I'd like to discuss. Remember our last conversation, when you told me the artifacts made you so overwhelmed you couldn't remember a thing? Well, it got me thinking, so I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described, doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Unfortunately, no. Other than you and Barrett, there were no records of direct encounters with the artifacts. I have to admit, though, I did get more than a bit sidetracked reminiscing about old times. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. Yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to compare. Those were just, oh, I don't know, different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I adopted her methods. You know, Aja and I logged quite a few interesting discoveries together. But it was the journey itself that I'll never forget. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. I wasn't gunning for her spot. In fact, everyone at Constellation was surprised when she announced she was retiring and moving to Parima 2. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues me about you. I don't know if I deserve to be that close to anyone right now. If you knew about the things that I've done, the way my life's unfolded, I think your opinion of me might change. Please, give me some time. I have to go. I'll head to my crew position.
I have things for you. As much as I'm eager to explore the universe, there's nothing quite like the feeling of returning home.
I'm not sure when things will feel safer. But we have not been attacked again.
Wouldn't mind burning some helium out in the fringe instead of being here, you know? This is amazing! The unity, the multiverse, this is everything and more, literally. You're right, of course, not after what they've done. But, I mean, if it's true, it's true. No matter what the messenger has done to us. This explains so much, though. They're disorganized, petty, weird, and also deeply fascinating at the same time. Because they are just people. We never rule that out, but it feels so good to know we weren't fighting against robot alien ghost gods or something. True. We need to approach this critically and carefully. We can't just jump in. Or... I mean, we could, I guess. But it all comes back to this. We don't know what will happen if you enter the Unity. You might lose yourself or become a two-headed space shark. There are too many variables. What? No. I just have to go back and forth about it for a while first, and then I'll be completely fine. Just part of my process. Of course, at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I will say this. Our entire purpose in Constellation is to explore. Why would we stop now? Obviously. If you were ready to jump in right now, I would not be following you. I'm sorry to say. It's a huge decision. It could change who you are fundamentally. It's not like dyeing your hair gold or getting a full-body cat suit or eating a full pack of extra wild spicy chunks in under a minute. This is serious business. Anytime. The possibility of turning evil aside, I appreciate you taking the lead on this. You're guiding Constellation to new frontiers, new discoveries, and we should all follow your example. On that note, there's something else I'd like to discuss with you, if you have time. It's not on the scale of entering the Unity, but it is tangentially related. Thanks. This has been swirling in my brain goo for a while now. So, I've been pondering over what's happened and what it all means. And I've got a favor to ask. A teensy-weensy favor. About the size of a plank length, really. I think it's time I joined you in the physics-bending powers business. See if one of those temples works for more than just you. What, you think you're the only one who can walk around in a cape and tights? Granted, it's just a theory, but I venture anyone who experiences visions from touching an artifact is now connected to them. You got a vision, I got a vision. You got a power, ergo. Marvelous. I'm glad you're as gung-ho about this as I am. As it so happens, I've already talked to Vladimir. Seems our eye in the sky is back up and running. He's sent me the coordinates for the temple already. We just have to visit.
If you are free soon, could we talk?
So, we finally have all the answers. And yet here I stand, feeling like I understand even less than I did before. This talk of the unity of a multiverse? Dead friends appearing again? It is all simply too much. And you think it is just that simple? It would seem to me that verifying this is much like verifying the idea of an afterlife. If this is all true, as the Starborn say, then passing through the unity will allow one to know the truth. But whomever does that will then never be able to report that truth back to the rest of us. What good then does it do us? We did not, could not, have understood that our mission would bring us here. If this is true, it changes so much of what we know about the universe, and we have no way to know unless we make this leap. Yes, I understand there are profound implications to all of this, but I do not see how you can be so eager to follow in the footsteps of the Starborn. Even if everything the Starborn have said is true, if you pass into this unity and come out in some other universe, look at who they are, at what they have become. They have the faces and voices of people you know, but are nothing like them. Are you not at all worried that the same fate would befall you? That you would become someone unrecognizable to the rest of us? Now you sound like Sarah. But you are not wrong. I will do my best to assume the best, but you cannot blame me for preparing for the worst. We should get back to it. Now that we know what to work towards, there's no time to waste.
Hey, Captain. Can I talk with you for a bit? A while ago, you helped me out when I was captured by the Crimson Fleet. And I just wanted to say thanks for having my back. It's good to be part of a team, isn't it? To be part of something so much bigger than any one of us. So many things can go wrong out there. Working with people you can trust is important. And that's why I've been in Constellation so long. It's good to have people who will help out when you're in a jam. You know, I doubt many people like that. One time, Irvin and I were on a biology expedition where he took thousands of samples from plant growths all over some moon. Turns out it was one giant organism in an endless cycle of self-consumption and regrowth. In a way, it was entirely self-reliant, I guess. But outside of strange colonial life, we all had some sort of help. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. Maybe that amount changes too. Irvin Madani was my husband. He was also a brilliant biologist who joined Constellation a couple of years before me. Yeah, he's gone now. I remember his bright smiles when I returned from my trips. Wow, more brilliant than any star. That's fair. I can respect that. I hope I can earn your trust. But if not, well, I can still work with that. Speaking of which, Constellation has its ups and downs. It can be hard. Trust me, I know. When times are tough, sometimes it's important to reflect on our accomplishments. What you're doing here with us is remarkable, truly. Constellation is brighter because of you. Well, I try to be welcoming to everybody who joins. Oh, exactly how enjoyable? Wait, no, don't tell me. Not right now anyway. Just let me keep going. You know, being a member of Constellation has given me a lot of opportunities, and a fair bit of stress, I'll admit. It's hard to imagine just who I'd be had I never joined up. I would have never done so many things, met so many people. It's mind-boggling how different I would be. And I never would have met Irvin. Or lost him, I suppose. That's right. We can't know the consequences of the choices we never made, and anything beyond that is imagination alone. But for the choices we made, it feels just a bit closer, doesn't it? Irvin's been gone for over 20 years. Strange how memories can pop up when you least expect it. Yeah, don't worry. Logically, I know I should be over it. But I'm not, and it's gotten worse lately. I've ignored my feelings about Irvin's death since it happened. It's time for me to confront it. I'm just fortunate that Constellation has been a supporting home for me since Irvin died. I mean, where else would I get to dodge space pirates and discover new planets? On that note, I think I'd do well to distract myself with a little adventure for a bit.
Constellation has suffered losses before, although none quite so violently.
Everyone is staying in their rooms a lot more lately. Guess we all need some process.
Constellation is no stranger to loss. Our own founder left on an expedition and never returned. It is easy to talk about the glory and excitement of breaching into the unknown, of lighting the darkness. But it is harder to stare into the face of the cost. That all of our progress is built on top of the lives of those who dared. And that we owe them the courage to continue our work in their memory.
Thank you. If anyone else wants to say something.
Chat for a bit? Normally, I hate talking to people at funerals, but, well.
I thought maybe I would come up with something to say, but I've got nothing.
You don't believe in the afterlife, do you?
I
mean, this might be the worst time to bring it up, but...
comfort a long time ago. Is God real? The more proper question would be, is reality divine?
It's comforting,
Existence
isn't it?
itself is a mystery which yearns
You haven't
to
really
be
lost
discovered.
someone. You're just
What is
waiting to
goodness
see them
but a
again.
comparison to the good?
And you don't even need proof.
What is existence but a
You just need to believe it.
participation in
Well,
being? For
I've
where
taken
the
up enough of your
diversity
time.
The universe inspires awe and wonder. It exists only in contrast to a simplicity so pure.
There are a few injuries that can't be addressed here. If you walk in, you will almost assuredly walk out. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. Well, you've certainly come to the right place. We should have everything you need. Take care of yourself.